that come in. So we didn't want to do that. Again, I said in the beginning, we want to be fully aligned as quick as possible with our traders. So we have the same interest in mind. So when a trader takes a payout, we feel good about it because we get 20% of that payout. Regardless of how much size you get up to, it's live money. We want you to make $100,000 in a day. That's very unlikely, but if you did, we'd be just as excited about it as you. If you go to another prop firm, there's going to be a lot of rules that limit your upside. They'll cap how much you can take per payout, and that's because they're not putting you into a live environment yet. They want to start kind of giving you money, but if it's going to be limited. It's just how their risk would work. For us, it's a little different, and we're one of the few companies in this space. Again, I think we have, actually, I know we have the highest percentage of live traders compared to our total trader count by far. We have more live traders than, and then by total count, we have more live traders than most companies in the space as well. So because of that, again, we're giving you a lot of tooling. We've built out. We can walk through some of this, but we've built a lot of proprietary tooling that's real time that helps you track your performance and get better. And that's what this is all about. And that was the vision of the company: is how do we take these traders that are beginners, intermediates, and get them on rails and get them to build a system that they can still use as they go through the entire process, because we want to make you better. It's in our interest to make you better, and unfortunately, that's not the normal in the space. The normal in the space is, here's the keys, go try to make money against us, and here's a couple $1,000s here and there per account if you can trade long enough. Where for us, it's different. Day one, you get into a live, once you get into the live account step, uncapped payouts. You can withdraw into the buffer that you've made to get there. You can make access of our coaching. The coaching call is required going into live. We do a one-on-one with you. We talk about your trading, your strategies. We're not going to try to change how your strategy is. We're going to try to just help guide you on your risk, maybe help guide you on size, and maybe a plan to increase that size or reduce the size, depending on what you've been doing up to that point. But we once you're in a live account, we have nothing else that, as a company, as a structure, other than to try to see you make profit and the most we can possibly make. And it's a battle, but it's a battle that we can honestly say that we're on your same side for.
Yeah, so the new dashboard that you guys have, a lot of feedback that everybody's loving it. So if you want to kind of give
Yeah.
them a little bit of a rundown, I mean, you don't have to do the whole thing if you don't want to, but
Yeah,
some of the
sure.
cool things.
Yeah, Minx did do another interview with me. If you guys want to see a larger rundown, which we also put on our YouTube channel. But yeah, let me just pull up a Project X account. Okay, so this is the trading dashboard you get. I'm just showing you a practice account right now. We've simplified it. I don't know if you're a former trader with us or you've seen us before. You might have seen the old one. It carries a lot of the same ideas, but we've completely redesigned it, and we've added a ton of features. And a lot of these features go towards directly improving your performance, not just being cool and pretty, which they are. So what we want you to do is, as a trader, we want you to come in and have a process. Super important. And that process extends further than just what you're clicking. That process starts at the beginning of the day, assessing your psychological state, assessing what you're seeing in the market, and writing it down. A lot of people like to write down in a journal physically, and that's okay. This isn't required. But we think this is a really good way to kind of put it in people's faces and make it as easy as possible. Make it so you don't have to go into 10 different programs or sign up for 10 different pieces of software. We don't upsell on any of this stuff. This is we do this because we want to make you guys better. So any tooling that we can include that's just native to our system is a huge win. So how are you feeling today? So we want you to track this every day, and then later on report on it. You can see, let's say I woke up this morning and I'm feeling fearful, and I'm feeling not focused. I guess you wouldn't be doing those. I'm fearful and sleepy. So track that. Put that down. It's as easy as that. I completed that step. Now we can say, are there any news events? I can open the economic calendar. I can check economic news, but maybe this is an opportunity to, uh, keep in context of what did Trump say today? He said something this morning that might affect trade. It might not be an economic event, but it's important. So you can come into these economic events and I could say, okay, it's not Wednesday yet, but Wednesday we do have some major news events coming. So let's say initial jobless claims, you could add an alert. So you could add an alert to your Google Calendar and this will notify you before the news event. Super important. This will give you a heads up right before a huge amount of volatility might come in. So take this opportunity, pay attention. What's the market doing? What's the general context? It might not give you direction, but you need to be aware of general market conditions. And news is a big part of that. Your market biases. So this could be a time we have the platform is all fully integrated. So you just hit this button and at any time, anywhere in our system, you can pull up your trading platform. So we could say here on the NQ, I'm long in Q over 24,920, let's say. This isn't a real trade, guys, so don't just blindly follow it. So now I've tracked, I'm becoming self-aware. I'm focusing on the market. I'm not just coming into the market and going, oh, this looks like a cool little break. I'm just going to buy it. Don't do that, guys. That's what amateurs do. So daily goals, these are custom goals you can create. I can do, let's say I'll wait for patience today. These are goals of my long-term goals that I want to do every day. Let's add these. Don't get in a trade until your setup shows. So continue trading. Okay, I completed my morning prep. Now I can look for setups. I can look for trades and I can start doing that. Let's show you. This isn't a third-party platform. And this over here is our system. But again, we nicely integrated it, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and take a trade right now. And you can
Order
watch,
field.
we instantly see the trade show up in our system. So I placed the trade and it shows the trade. And now we can start doing the work. We can start saying, okay, well, why did I take this trade? Unfortunately, I just took a random trade. That's between you and I. But if this was a real trade, I could start categorizing it. And these are setups and tags that you create that are the patterns that you see in the market. So let's just say this is range day demand and I had patience on the entry. Actually, no, I didn't. Let's say I had FOMO and I chased it. Done. I did the work. So now I've categorized this trade and later on I can track this. I can do this one at a time. I can take every setup that I see, come up with a name for it. Hopefully you already have it, but you could even do this while you're seeing the market for the first time and build out a playbook for yourself. So this starts with a setup and this can end with a bunch of rules and a bunch of variables that you look at to decide if you should be taking this trade or not. While you're taking the trade, let's say you want to take some notes. You're saying, I'm a little nervous. Just get this stuff out of your head, guys. I'm not sure if this was the setup now that I'm looking at it. Get this stuff out. Be self-aware. This is one of the most important things you need in trading. You need to not only have edge and have a setup, but you need to be able to realize what your choices are in real time. You need to be able to categorize what you're doing. Not everything's going to be 100% a rule that you can teach to a 5-year-old, but you do need to understand what you're doing and at least make note of what these little things are because they all add up. Doing this stuff and looking at it over time, you will make shifts in your trading and you will have to continue to make shifts in your trading. And if you're not tracking it, I don't know how you're going to really make effective use of your time. So let's say we close this up and we'll close the trade.
Order field.
All right, fill the order. And sometimes there can be a slight delay. Okay, I refreshed it to close it. So now you can see this trade was taken and I can hop over to my playbooks. These are all the setups I could have taken. You can add new setups. You can give it a new name. We could call it the Minx strat. And you could give it a color, an icon to remember it. You could create some categories with some rules for entry conditions, for how you handle risk on the setup. And yeah, so this is our organization. So this is sort of the data intake. So this is you trading, gathering information, tracking yourself. But the point of it is later on, you can go into your reporting and start to make use of it. So this is where you can look at all that data. It's all just being loaded in real time. And you can say, okay, well, let me look at my performance by day. Well, this is bad data, but what would you say? What's really obvious? You wouldn't even need a coach to tell you this. Would be, what are you doing in the beginning of the week? That would be a good place. If anything, maybe stop trading in the beginning of the week. If you're doing this month over month, and this is what you're seeing at the beginning of the week, these are points of investigation. And sometimes you don't even need to know the root cause. It's good to try to figure it out, but in the very least, you need to think maybe this setup or the setups I'm using are not good in the beginning of the week, and start making those adjustments. In trading, less is usually more. So think in terms of, here's all the trading I did. The first thing you can do is maybe reduce some of those trades, maybe drop some of those setups that have clear conditions that it doesn't work in. You can do all the back testing you want, but forward testing is a whole different thing. So actually taking these trades in real time, watching how the candles are forming, or whatever you're using to view the market in, is a different thing, especially when emotions are on the line, and you actually have some risk on the table, and you have the potential to make money. Everything kind of changes. Some people see red and they freak out, but a lot of people just blame their psychology, and they blame the markets, or they say, if I only did this, and they're shooting from the hip. They're not making any of those decisions based on any of the tracking they're doing. They're just really upset about the current day. And then they start making changes without considering all that data they have. And we're trying to make you not do that. We're trying to make you use yourself as a research opportunity. So be the scientist, and use yourself to be your own monitor, and the tools just help you do that. This is another example of another report. So this is showing how many times we had losses in a row that we could recover from, to give you sort of a good stopping point. Let's say in this case, when they get to 5 losses, that's usually means you're not going to recover for the day. So it might be a good opportunity to stop trading for the day. 5 might be a rule that you set up for yourself. That could be a daily goal that you set up for yourself. We've got a trade simulator built in. So this is showing my P&L if I do nothing, if I do no changes to it. This is another place. It's sort of a playground. You can come in and get an idea. Oh, look, I traded gold, MES. Let's just start removing these products that I don't trade well with. Maybe your strategies are just not fit for those markets. So what you can see now is, if I were to do this all over again and I didn't trade those products, the green line would have been my P&L curve, as opposed to the red one that did occur. I can start removing products. You can filter by time, and you can remove different hours in the day, days of the week, how long you're holding a trade. So it looks like the shorter times being held. Like I should cut my losers quicker. This is what it would tell me. And we look at this information too when we're coaching with you. So we don't do the coaching until you're going live, but on the way, you're building all this data for us, where we can give you some feedback, more than just the feedback that the system gives you by default. And we're going to bring this up with you and try to give you some opportunities to not make a huge shift immediately, but give you some guidance on maybe what you could change. But I think you're getting the whole picture, and we've got a lot of facilities, things that other companies wouldn't have, that's all just built in. We have this, which is a way to actually record your screen. So this will open up a screen recorder and save that recording onto your computer, so you can play it back. And I'll just do that. I am recording the screen right now. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep, we can.
If I hop back into the platform now, you can see it's actively recording the screen. I can do a sell
Order
market.
field.
See the trade come in, and I'm talking because it's recording my voice as well. And in real time, it's transcribing that into text that you can read. And it's like subtitles automatically put on the video that is searchable. So I can now close
Order
this
field.
trade and I can go back to the recordings. This is a beta, so if we have an issue, I do have to say that. Hang on, allowing some permissions here. Okay, so here's the recording I just made. I can open this up, and these are the points in the video I can scrub to that are me talking just now. I can see recording the screen right now. Recording the screen right now. Can you still hear me? I hop back in the platform. If I hop back into the platform now, and you can see it's actively recording the screen. Turn that off. Okay, and then you can see right here, that's when I placed the order. And it's timed exactly. If you were just recording with a screen recorder on your own computer without all of this, you wouldn't have this all mapping together. You wouldn't have the things you're saying connected to the times in the video. You wouldn't have the order placement connected to the time in the video. And this makes it a whole lot more helpful to come back in later and review your trades. It's another thing that we're doing to try to ease doing the work. We make it simpler. I don't think anybody else does anything close to this. And it's just an example of the kinds of things we're trying to innovate with to improve our traders so we can all get, we can all make more money. We've got the news built in. So this is all built in. You wouldn't have to go somewhere else for it. We even understand that music can increase productivity. Having music without words playing in the background, there are many studies that point to increase of focus and productivity. And as traders, we're looking for any edge we can. So right here, just pop on some music, get focused for the day, hop back into your morning prep. This is, if you can imagine the experience here, we're trying to give you a full experience, hopping in the morning prep, taking your trades, doing the work on the trades all in one system, get the reporting out of it, going live, and then just working with us in live, and let's kick ass together. Yeah, so that's pretty much why we're different. You're not going to see much of any of this when you go to other companies, and that's why we consider ourselves to be a true prop firm as opposed to a company that's just offering funding. And yeah, I hope you join with us and at least get a practice account if you're new. And if you're ready for funding, then go ahead and sign up for an assessment, because this week is a Black Friday kind of week. So we've reduced the costs pretty substantially on those. Use code MINX.
All right, funny things. So I actually have one question.
Yeah.
Obviously I love this, and but what do you think are the biggest mistakes newcomers make as they're starting to trade? And I mean, I know you've touched base a little bit about it, but just for those that didn't catch the first 20 minutes of it, because it wasn't streaming on a different thing. So
I would say the biggest, which extends to not new traders, the traders that have been around a while too, is over trading, over holding, over risking. So using too many contracts at once.
Yeah.
Because all they're thinking about is the upside, and they're not realizing that same risk, that same potential profit applies to the risk as well. And as traders, you start to learn you can make some probability decisions based on what the market's doing, but if you can't control your risk, it's going to take one day and you're screwed. You're going to lose it all. And it happens to the best of us. And I don't like seeing that happen. So start with the smallest size possible. Start with 1 micro. Learn to execute with 1 micro. Forget that you're going to think you're going to make $50,000 tomorrow. It's not going to happen. And if it does, if you continue trading, you will lose it. That's just how it'll work. That's how the statistics will work out if you're taking random trades and you have random risk. I've seen it thousands of times as someone that runs a prop. But yeah, you can see it all over Twitter. You'll see people saying, oh, I made this much money. I made this much money. They're usually not showing what they lost. So control your losses. That's what you can control. You can control your risk. You can't control how far the market's going to go in your favor. So trade with small size, have a daily loss limit, and every trade you take needs to be for a specific reason, a reason that gives you a favorable opportunity at a favorable result. So when you're taking trades because you're chasing, or you're like, oh, I missed it, I just need to get in on this, because you're thinking, oh, this will help me pay my rent money, like that space you get into is you're not gonna do well. It happens time and time again. It's not a quick money opportunity. And once you can take a step back and treat money as points in this game, instead of how it's going to help you really quick, and I really need this. The market doesn't care. So you have to get over that, and you need to learn to control that risk. So once you've controlled the risk, the scaling can be huge. There's obviously a major opportunity here. At the largest size an individual trader is going to get to is just the blip on the radar of a large bank. So the amount of room you have here to really size up and make money eventually is huge, and almost, you could say, infinite. So don't rush it. Just start with that small size, learn how to trade a small account, and then start pumping that up. Your emotions will start. The more size with one micro, you're probably going to feel nothing. When you start adding more micros, you're going to feel more, and that might affect your execution. Stop. Don't push it harder. Say, okay, I'm making poor execution choices as I've sized up, and start stair stepping. So if that works for you, you want to put yourself at a little bit of uncomfortableness to start with, and then if you're able to execute and do well at that, maybe you can take it a notch up a few weeks later, and take it up another notch, You start struggling, maybe you take it back. And then, stair step your way into a place where you execute well, because that's the holy grail that you need to protect. It's very easy to go off the rails and be like, oh, I'm so good, I made a whole bunch of money, I think I'm going to really size up, and you go from 5 micros to 5 minis the next day. Don't do that.
Right.
You're that's going to be a whole different feeling, and you probably are not going to be able to execute. Power to you if you're one of the 1 in 10,000 people that can just handle that, and they have no emotion doing it, and they can execute and size up, but that is not most people. So don't assume you're that guy.
Right. And is there anything I didn't ask about that you'd like to share with the audience, or?
So this is our beta. So if you sign up right now, this isn't what you'd see immediately, but it is where everyone's going to be transitioning to soon. We are just working through bugs and getting feedback from traders. We want to make sure it's a nice ironed out experience, but it is stable, and you can definitely trade on this. We have, if you hop into the beta, we have some tools that we've built, I think are pretty cool. This can give people a visual idea of what to expect from their trading. So we have something called a passing simulator. This is kind of overwhelming when you first see it, but if you're a techie or someone that's good with numbers already, I suggest checking it out. This can give you a sense of, if I took 100 trades and I had a 50% win rate. Oh, let's just do like 60% win rate with a 1-to-1 and $3,000 of drawdown, and I risk per trade 250, and I'm going for 6,000. Okay. So what you can see here is this solid green line is the average line that you can expect from traders. If we simulated 10,000 tries where all those traders had different results, some would have some different losing streaks, some would have different winning streaks. Everything's going to be varied. Every trader's different. Even if you have a 60% win rate with an average 1-to-1, everyone's not going to come up with the same results. The markets are different, strategies are different. This is what you can expect. So some of you would end up below zero, even if you had a 60% win rate, just by the way the market works and by the way statistics works. So I think this is a really cool way. What I like to do is start adjusting your risk per trade, and the tighter your risk per trade, the more, yes, you don't have the same chances of maybe passing in this number of trades with this kind of statistics, but what you've done is controlled the trajectory of that curve. So when you're over risking, you can definitely, you can definitely go for it, and you're going to have a bigger chance of that you're going to have more opportunity that you pass for sure, but you're also going to give yourself more of an opportunity to fail. And that would assume you're actually sticking to exactly 60% win rate with a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Most of the time, over 100 trades, that is going to work out for you. But with randomness kicked in, you just need to gauge your expectations. So that's what with some of these calculators we have in here. This is just an example of them. Just to make you remember that you need to stick to your system, stick to your trading, and the less you risk, the more. So if I took more trades and I tightened my risk and I stuck with really good uh, trading results, now you have a lot more of a consistent approach to the markets. You're going to get a trajectory that doesn't require a huge amount of drawdown. You're most likely to be in a really good spot after these trades. So hop in here, play with the number of trades, and get some good expectations.
Great. I love it. Well, I don't have any questions. I don't know. Let me see if anyone in the audience does. There's a little chat. Okay. All right, hang on. Ooh, there's a lot of questions. Does Futures Desk have Tradeovate or Ninja? If not, why? Is Futures Desk a spinoff of Blue Firm?
I was at a firm before this. It's not a spinoff. No, it's not related at all to that company. We don't have Tradeovate and NinjaTrader at the moment. We are using Project X, and we are still having conversations with them to see where that goes. We have also Rhythmic and the platforms with that. We offer a free platform called Delta Trader, which is a fantastic web-based platform that sort of works on Mac and Windows. And shortly we'll have free licenses for a product called ATOS. But Tradeovate's not off the table. We're just evaluating our options right now, and we're deep in some NDA style conversations. So we'll see where everything goes.
Okay. Someone said, I'm not sure what this question is, but it says, can you show which account is for me? Can daily loss is very less? I think we kind of went over the, it's customizable. So you have to, that's subjective, actually.
Sure. Yeah. So what I would say is just if you're newer to trading, you're not sure what you need, go with the smaller account, spend less, get something that has, somewhere in the starter to standard size, something that you can control we'll even tighten your daily loss. So if you reach out to support and you think you're like, no, I don't even want to lose $100 in a day, that would be really tight, but we could do that. Just reach out to our support team and we'll change your account. So just get the small size you can. Maybe this is a pretty good opportunity. You get one mini, one micro, nice daily loss, and keep the days somewhere in this region. And the pricing is pretty good, and this will lead to a live account. And none of these accounts are limited forever. So while you're in live, if you're building a balance, we're going to increase your max contracts. We'll increase your daily loss, and for some, we might even give you a renegotiation and give you actually more risk capital. It's more drawdown, more risk on our side to see if you can size up and make bigger money with us. Again, that's not the normal at all. But for those traders that can show that they do the work and they can make money, then yeah, we're trying to do that too. So. Yeah, so don't overspend in this. Just stick to what's comfortable.
Yeah, Fencer said the Futures Desk is a really great choice. Start small and scale up. Their platform and dashboard is so insanely good. Someone else also said TFD is the premier model aligned with traders that truly want to develop their longevity in mind.
Yeah, thank you.
There's so many options. Okay, I'm just kind of going through to see if there's. It looks like a lot of people are very impressed with the dashboard. Oh, okay. One question: will Project X be supported after February? I think you kind of touched on
Yeah,
that.
we're still having conversations with them.
Somebody said, even though I am in DD on Futures Desk, but I am really loving this platform.
That's great. Yeah, DD's expected. Learn to. I think a lot of people in this space are like, oh, I'm red now. I'm just going to reset my account. Don't do that. You have to learn to work with drawdown. Just
Somebody's
stick to your
asking,
course.
yeah, sorry.
Mhm.
Someone's asking, can it record the trader as well through the camera?
You could put up, like if you're on Mac, like Photo Booth or the camera app in Windows, and you record your whole screen, and that would totally work. Yeah, we don't have it built in where it pops up your own camera, but you could absolutely. You can either record the window or you can record. So we do have this Project X platform built in, but what's really cool is if you're using Rhythmic, it still works. Everything still works the same, other than you're not going to have the platform in this little pop out. You just would run the platform in a separate window. If you're running Sierra Charts or you're running HATOS or Quant Tower or Motive Wave, you can run that in as a separate program. And then when you go to record on here, you could have it record that window instead, or you could have it record your whole monitor. Everything's on it. That's what I'm getting to is if you record your whole monitor, now you can have your platform showing, and then you could, put up a little camera or anything else you want to be included in that recording.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, there's no funded setup or data fee, so there's no activation fee with this. And there's not a monthly subscription either. Aside
Yeah.
from I think you can explain that part.
Sure. Yeah. So if you take more than 31 days on the assessment, we have a very small fee. It's $29 to extend it another 31 days. So you can continue to trade that same account under the same plan. And that $29 pretty much just goes to covering our costs for platform and data fees. So we're trying to make it as minimal as possible just to take your time. And so once you pay that fee to sign up, if it takes less than 31 days, you wouldn't pay anything more. And if you need more than that 31 days, again, $29 each time. If you do need a reset for a smaller account, it's $75, but that also includes a 31-day extension. So we don't want you to worry when you do a reset, like, oh, when's my extension coming up? Should I cancel? Should I do all this timing stuff that I have to do at other companies? No, it's literally just you do a reset, you're always going to have 31 days. And at any time when 31 days runs up, it's a pretty small fee. But once you pass, that whole thing is canceled. So you get into a simulated brokerage account for a very short amount of time, and there are no fees in that. And then when you go live into the live brokerage after building your buffer, there is also no fees. And I say that with a caveat of we cover one of your professional data fees. So that costs us $140 a month that we have to pay. And we cover one of those for you while you're in your live account, which I don't think other people do very often. So it's pretty much you pay this fee. If you pass in 31 days, that was your entire amount spent for passing the test. And if it's more than 31 days, it's pretty negligible. So there's no hidden fees later on or anything like that. So the only thing after that is every time you go to take a payout, we take 20% of it, and we're on the same side. So, if we can make an impact on the success on your trading, we're hoping that 20% is really, a rounding error, and the amount more you can make with us is definitely worth the difference. Not to mention, we are CME group members, so we have seats leased at the exchange, and our execution fees are going to be vastly reduced, probably 50, 60, 70%. I think some companies have $6 execution fees for an NQ round trip. Ours are $2.30 all in round trip for that same execution. So those add up. So if you're moving a lot of contracts throughout the day, that can be hundreds of dollars in a day that you're saving on your balance that ends up being withdrawable. So those things add up, and those are the little things that I think matter in trading, especially long term, to help you do scalps and help you really size up.
Yeah. Someone's asking how much account can we copy trade? I think how many accounts?
So we don't care if you copy trade outside of the company. So if you have a personal account, of course, that's totally cool. Add as many of those as you want to copy trade. Internally, we have up to 4 accounts in the simulated environments, and then when you go live, we'll allow up to 2. So if you got 4 accounts of, let's say, 1,500 each of drawdown, when you go live, we could give you 2 accounts of 3,000, or we could consolidate it into 1 account of 6,000. But yeah, 2 is the max right now, just because we do have to worry about our traders violating CME group rules, because we can get fined for those kinds of things, including wash trades and things like that, and other things you can be doing trying to be on both sides of the market at the same time. So 2 accounts right now is what we're working with
Yeah,
when you
and
get
it's
live.
up to, but in sim funded, it's up to 6,000
Yes,
total.
up to 6,000 of drawdown total.
Okay.
So when you're coming here, this particular account has 2,000, so you could get 3 of these if you wanted and trade them all together at the same time with copy trading. Or you could get, here's 1,000, you could get 4 1,000 accounts, and you would still have 2,000 allocation, but you wouldn't be able to use it unless you canceled one of those. So any combination of up to 4 accounts with a total of $6,000 drawdown.
Okay. Someone said that lovely explanation. Will we have a giveaway, if y'all don't mind me asking?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do
Yeah.
it. We'll give away $200 credit to the desk.
Yeah, and then someone else asked, on the risk call, can you be denied a live account even though you passed the challenge?
On the risk call, can you have, I'm not sure I understand.
I don't either. The link, guys, the Futures Desk posted a link for Gleam, so you have to click on that, and then
Yeah, sign up for that Gleam link, guys, and in a few minutes we'll have a spin of the wheel and I guess a spin of the wheel, and someone at random will be picked for a $200 credit you can use for any of this stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what he means by on the risk call. Can you be denied a live account even though you
Being
passed?
denied. I'm sorry, I missed that word. On the risk call, being denied a live account. No, but if you come in and you've got $1,000 a drawdown or $2,000 a drawdown, or really, you want no daily loss limit and you want 12 minis, and you're just very insistent on it, we might just say, like, we know how this is going to go. Why don't you just take all the money out and just skip it? Because, as much as people want to think that they're YOLOing during a test or YOLOing at another company was effective, we're not really that interested in that. We will still set up the account for you, but yeah, we're going to give you a personal recommendation. Usually it's not go away or you should go away and not do this. It's usually like, here's the parameters we think are best for you. Like this will help you grow the account, and then start sizing it up. Again, our interest is, how can we get you to make money in the account? If you leave, we have no opportunity to make money in the account. So our best situation is trying to give you guidance that makes that work. But no, we're not just going to deny it. We will set you up.
All right, guys, the link has been posted. I'm not sure for how long. It's 9 minutes. There's 9 minutes left of it.
Yeah, we'll probably just do a few more minutes of that, I guess. We don't have to do the full 9.
Yeah. I don't see any other questions. It's not clickable on mobile. Oh, that's true, actually. Everybody that's on the desktop, they're like, yes.
Yeah.
More chances to win.
Guys better rush to a laptop.
No, I feel like, I'm pretty, and I've been open about this. I mean, I'm pretty close with a lot of different CEOs, and, I think each prop firm has their own uniqueness to it. But with you guys, you're spending more time wanting for traders to actually grow. I actually read something earlier today, and I don't know which prop firm said this, but they said, well, and honestly, I don't even know if it's true or not, but apparently a prop firm CEO said, I want 90% of the traders to fail. And in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, that doesn't even make sense because technically, whether you want them to fail or not, 90% of traders fail regardless. That's kind of the, the sad
Yeah,
part of trading, right?
sure.
But you guys are so involved with traders in wanting them to grow. It's like is it called longevity or longevity? English is my second language.
Longevity.
So it's kind of it's that's like something that I see a lot of traders really appreciating. So I appreciate it as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Someone
I
says,
think
oh, go ahead.
obviously the numbers don't work if you're it's hard, you know. Traders can do well in tests and then they can get to live and struggle, and that's common. That's very common. And we're trying to make that so we're not just losing out in the live part. There, if when we find these gems and we can polish them up and get them sized up, that can be, as you'd expect a prop firm to do, very, very financially beneficial for all of us to make a lot of money. You go to some of these traditional desks and you're going to get 20, 30, $40,000 daily loss limits, and these guys are making 7, 8 digits. That kind of money coming in uh, dwarfs anything from anything else. The market has a lot of liquidity and a lot to be made, and I think a lot of props in the space are taking the easy route because yes, the market is difficult. So they have that going on their side already. They People complain about certain rules and stuff, and some of them are definitely, you see, are predatory, and no one likes to see that. But in the end, a lot of traders like to blame the props, but usually it's their own trading that's
Mhm.
causing the problems, and sizing down and risking less is usually the way to get through them. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these companies, they need 90% to fail because there's no opportunity at live accounts, or there's no opportunity, or they've given up on live accounts and they don't want to put the effort in to see if they can play that part of the game. So they try to give you maybe a fair environment to make money from them, but in the end, they're structured a company that's not really going to be on your side.
Yeah, so someone asked, can you please tell us more about the rhythmic connection with Delta Trader? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you buy a Rhythmic account right now, you can just hop in to, hang on, let me pull one up.
Oh, hold on, I gotta switch the
Oh,
screen.
okay. And then after this, we
Okay, there we
can
go.
we can just spin that wheel. I know everyone's
Yeah.
waiting. So we have Delta Trader as a platform here, and you can just click Get Free Access. I can't remember if I'm logged in on this browser. Yeah, so you can just log in here. You can copy your Rhythmic username and password after you've created an account with them. But this is all included. So as long as you're trading with us with a Rhythmic account, you'll have access to this platform, and it's a really cool platform. I'm not going to go over it right now, but uh, it's got a lot of really cool stuff that has to do with order flow, footprint charts, really good DOM execution, stuff you don't see in some of these other web-based platforms yet. This is a very advanced
Huh.
web-based platform, and
Well,
again,
that's pretty
free.
cool.
If you got Rhythmic, yeah, check it out. It's really nice, and again, it's web-based, so it works on a Mac or Windows.
Okay. And then someone says, will there be Tradeovate eventually?
Definitely a strong possibility. Just no announcements right now. We're reviewing some of our options right now, so uh, keep
Eh,
watch.
yeah. And then can we have Rhythmic as well as Project X accounts at the same time?
You can, but if you go live with that, you're going to end up, if you really want to split it up over 2 brokerages, which is how that would work, you'd have to pay one of those professional data fees. We're not going to cover 2 of them. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to try both while you're doing the assessment, but we really prefer you make a one path decision when you go into a live brokerage account. I don't think anyone's split across both brokerages.
Right. Um, someone asked, Josh, can you offer a base account, 500 DD, 1000 TP, static, and 2 micros only?
We've talked about some smaller accounts.
Okay.
500 might be a little low. We generally like to give traders like our lowest drawdown right now is 1,000,
Yeah.
and that gives you a way to split up maybe 10 days of $100 daily loss. Really below that, it starts getting a little, maybe a little too small.
Right. And then does it have level 2 data?
Yes. So we probably don't advertise this enough, but yeah, we offer level 2 data. We ask that you just ask for the markets that you are actually trading, not all of them, because we do pay for each market. So yeah, once you sign up for an account and you need level 2 data, just hop into support chat and they can get that enabled in a few minutes at no extra cost.
Okay. And someone says, you mentioned earlier you were working with Atis platform. Do you have potential dates?
From what I hear, in a few weeks, so
Okay.
less than a month probably.
What about Project X? Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
It's okay. Yep. Project X we went over and we're still in
Yep.
conversation with them.
Yep. So Raj wanted me to tell everyone who has entered and has never won a TFD credit before just got a $20 credit, and you can combine that with any sale.
Yep. So that's everybody. Anybody
Yep.
who signed up just got $20 to spend, and that'll just show up at your checkout. You should get an email for that.
And let me see. Raj, are you going to share your screen so we can do the spinning thing, or how do you want to?
Or you can give me the names.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Raj is vacationing in Mexico right now, and his throat hurts. So.
Oh. And he's still, see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. I have like messaged support, and I'll get like a response on a Saturday night by an actual, not like one of those Zendesk, not Zendesk, but whatever. Like I'll actually get one of you guys responding back. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yep. We really do care.
Yeah.
We're all invested in making this all work for all the traders.
Let's see.
Byron Webb, you have won the $200 credit. And again, everybody won this time because we just threw out $20 credits to everybody. So enjoy that.
And one other question. Can I give full access for Delta Trader with practice account?
We don't allow it for free with a practice account, but if you do want to try it out, Delta Trader, if you go to their website, I think it's deltatrader.com, you can get a free trial. So I would suggest doing that if you'd like.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. In my opinion, if you're not having people trade live, Capital Live for mutual gain, they are not a prop from you or something else more akin to gaming. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think the term prop firm has been abused a little bit in the space.
Prop firm. Video games is what I call them.
They're funding companies, really. I mean, they are giving you some sort of simulated funding, or even if they put you live, a lot of them use that as a way just to get you out of their hair.
Yeah.
They're not really concerned of spending much time and improving you there. It's just a way to cap how much they're paying you from their pocket.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any other questions. I don't see. Somebody says I didn't get $20 credit. This is the second time. I think it's going to be in your email or something.
Should be in your
email. It was
email.
only if you've never won a credit before.
If you never won or got a credit from our team on the support desk for some reason, if you've gotten a credit in the past because you've worked with us and maybe something happened and there was an issue and we gave you some credit to cover that, that would also negate you.
Right.
So
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if there is a situation where you feel like that didn't happen, though, just reach out to us on the support chat and we can look at your account and see what happened and credit you if that needs to be done.
And one last question, guys. So it says, what platform is most used in Futures Desk? Is it still Project X?
Yeah, Project X by far.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you all for hopping on and checking this out. So.
Yeah, thank you guys. And if you have more questions for us, again, you can just ask our support team, or we've got a pretty vibrant community in our Discord. I think we're up to like 7,000 people. So hop in
Awesome.
there. We do giveaways there as well sometimes, and we'll answer whatever questions and we can talk trading. So appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. Had a good
All
time.
right.